Hi everyone, thanks for joining. This is CryptoVatsik. If you enjoy this content, I would really appreciate it if you gave this video a like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for future updates. Nothing of what you're about to see is considered financial advice, and they're just my opinions. Let's go. Okay, today we're going to cover the one and only technical analysis on Ethereum, and I know this chart is very busy, but we're going to cover everything in detail here so it's very clear by the end of this video to you. All of these drawings are from my previous video on Ethereum that you can go and watch if you do like. I've left it unchanged because I think it's going to give a clear picture of where we're at right now, and it's starting to respect those levels that we drew out previously. So obviously we had this area here, okay, so this bullish consolidation within this tight range that we had back from January 2021 from this area of consolidation that I covered in my last video, which led to that nice push up to our high, sweeping up to ultimately this area of bearish consolidation back here. Okay, so now what we're seeing is that we're coming back down. Okay, and so at the time of the video we were right around here, and I was expecting a drop out of this yellow triangle right here. Okay, so this descending triangle right here, I was expecting a drop further down to the triangle target, which was closer to this level, but we actually didn't get it. We got front ran. It did have a dump, but basically bottomed out right here and then pushed right back up and regained the equilibrium of this downward sloping trend. Right, this guy right here, this guy right here. Okay, so downward sloping trend, the EQ right around the descending trend of this triangle. And then we broke to the upside. Okay, so we had this basically spring action, broke right back into the triangle and then broke out, breaking out of the triangle to the upside and breaking the EQ of this downward sloping trend channel. And then just basically this choppiness until we had our first impulse, making a higher high in comparison to this lower high. Then preceding it smashed right through this bearish order block in red, okay, with some distribution right up here, bearish divergences on RSI coming back down, and then a huge dump, obviously, that we all know, our FTX dump. Okay, so you'll notice though that this dump came all the way back down to our demand zone in green. Okay, so that's right around here, the EQ of this channel, okay, back from January that you noticed, that basically just this bullish consolidation area that I talked about. And what are the odds? We dumped right back down. Yeah, not to the triangle target, but basically right back down to demand, but also the equilibrium of this downward sloping trend, this channel, okay? So, it's interesting that we bounced right off there and we had a nice push up, right up to the upper band of the channel, okay? And then basically come back down, just ultimately testing demand again. Ultimately, when we were trading back here, I was hoping for a reclaim of this level, okay? So this level right here, basically the the 50th percentile of the fibs here, okay? So you can see 0 up at the top here, right from that high, 23.6, 38.2, 50, 61.8. So basically what I wanted to see was basically a breakout of this, okay? I was expecting this drop, but I had said if we do start to see some bullish price action, we need to reclaim this soon. So even if we got the drop, which we did somewhat with this dump right here, I wanted to see us reclaim the bearish order block supply up here from this level, okay, of consolidation. And then I wanted to see us get back outside of this downward sloping trend. Let me just get rid of the fibs now at this point, just to clean it up. I wanted to see us get outside of this this downward sloping channel right here, okay? And so this would have been the third attempt with a retest here, perfectly set up. However, we got the FTX collapse. So who knows what would have happened. I think that we would have been trading higher without the FTX collapse. I think a lot of people feel that way. But we just, we got to trade with what's in front of us. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just extend out this channel, okay, because it's still appropriate. And we're going to take out this triangle target because that's now basically completed. What's going on here? Okay, so let's start to look at what we're seeing currently. So you'll notice the monthly open here that I've marked out, and that comes from this December 1 monthly open right here. Okay, so right around 1300, just under $1,300 kind of thing. I don't know what the exact is, but that's basically ultimately the monthly open. However, this line that I had drawn was basically just that key RSR level from back here. Okay, so basically we had that bullish consolidation here with our resistance above. Okay, and then we had broke to the upside, came back down. Okay, some more bullish consolidation right on support, a couple deviations below, sure, where that triangle was. However, we bounced right off that level. And so that was the key SR level for me at the time. And then just so happens that it lines up right now with our monthly open. We are deviating many times above it. It's really trying to figure out if this is going to be support or resistance. So we're really just chopping around. This could easily tank and this could easily pop. So to be determined. However, what I do like is the fact that we've now got a higher high in comparison to these lower highs. So we've broken that market structure. Here's the origin breakdown level right here, okay, that we've reclaimed. So basically this high failed, rejected, came back down to demand, swiftly accepted, and then basically pushed to a new high, breaking that ultimate market structure, that bearish trend right here. and then ultimately, like I said, gaining this level back. Okay, so there's your retest of that market structure break, and as well as reclaiming that origin of the breakdown here. So really just chopping around the monthly open still, just deciding if it's going to be able to have enough confidence in the market and take up enough liquidity to power up to really push towards this high again. We still have inefficient balance and price from the FTX collapse sitting right here. Okay, so we basically have swept this liquidity here. However, we still have in here basically this area of inefficient balance from the FTX collapse right here. Okay, so basically just meaning that we could expect more of this space to be taken up before potentially heading back down and retesting the monthly open again at some point. Now, the one thing though is you'll notice that you just look for areas that are being respected, right? And currently the 100 exponential moving average, this lighter gray line right here, is being well respected and accepted as resistance, right? So resistance 1, 2, 3, 4 times. It's established resistance very clearly. So I would love to see first a flip of that into support and then target the 200 exponential moving average up here in the thick gray line. And you might say to yourself, yes, we've broken this trend line right here. However, low, higher low, higher low ultimately, right? So yeah, we did break this structure, except we quickly reclaimed that level back to the upside. So, you know, obviously this is right here, is this your invalidation if you're bullish. Below this level, you're invalidated, in my opinion. Confluence with this brief area of consolidation right here on this doji candle that broke the upper band of this range that you'll see, this channel, downward sloping channel. Okay, that was the candle that led to the break with a powerful candle to the upside after up to the monthly open. So that's for me invalidation level right here if you're bullish. So personally for me, you could play this a couple different ways to the upside. You could wait for a reclaim of this downward trend right here. Okay, so you could wait for a reclaim there, enter on the retest, stop loss below this low. And then ultimately I'd be targeting this breakdown level up here, right around 1500, just over 1500, 1550, or maybe this low right here. So somewhere in that zone, you can basically draw out your sell zone up here. That's where you'd be looking to sell kind of thing, which would give you decent R&R. So that's basically, stop loss below this low right here. And then your sell zone up here. So your R&R around over 6, yeah, 6.44, so not too bad. Or the other way that I would play it is probably more ideal for me, is I would wait for a opportunity to get in lower down here. Okay, so currently on the high time frame, since we've got this as resistance, there's no real data to tell us that we're going to break to the upside just yet. So maybe a bit more consolidation, come down, sweep this low. Okay, sweep this low here, something like that. Basically get a market structure break, enter right here. That would be what I'm looking for, and the reason why is because your R&R would be a little bit better. Okay, so you can clearly put your stop loss below this low. So something like that, and then again, your same target would be up here, and so your R&R now goes up to 10.28. So much better optimal R&R. And yeah, like I said, we still got this established resistance. So if you're shorting, obviously your invalidation level is up here, but I could see this definitely popping for a deviation at the least. And then, maybe we come back down, something like that, right? So get a deviation, bearish retest, short that, target the low or target demand zone right here. Or, if you're saying, no, this is bullish, this is coming up, then basically I'd just be looking for something like this. Okay, so reclaim the 100 EMA right here. Take out some more of this inefficient balance right here in price, okay, and then come up to the sell zone, and then maybe get a deviation market structure break, and then short up here kind of thing with your stop loss above the high, and then ultimately just be targeting the monthly open again at that point. Easier said than done, right? And it's because the one thing that you have to manage is your patience, right? You have to wait for the setup. So there's really no trade in here right now at this point, right? So if you're going long, to me, there's no trade. If you're going short, still there's no trade. We're just consolidating right now to making that decision of which direction it's going to go. Let the market decide the direction first and then take the opportunity to trade it and put in a position, in my opinion. Now, if we do get this this bullish move up to this area to sweep this high, the one thing I will change my bias with is previously here when I said we needed to reclaim this level. Okay, and we did at the time, but then the FTX collapse happened. So if we come up here and we start to get more of this consolidation in this area, maybe just sweeping the sell zone kind of thing, bullish consolidation underneath this high, then potentially I'd be more inclined to see a powerful move up and then ultimately a macro market structure break from these lower highs and then ultimately making a higher high up here. Okay, and so I would quickly change my tune to the bullish side of things if we do start to see something like that. And I think it's on the table at this point, because we got our clear invalidation below in green still. Okay, this is our demand zone in green. Okay, so we've just been testing it. We've been coming back down, testing demand. Demand is clearly there still, but I want to see this move power up to the upside still and continue the momentum to the upside and really start testing these highs, right? Because we haven't tested them yet. In my opinion, we're still on a downtrend. We got a bit of a descending triangle going on here. Essentially, sorry for my shit drawing, but you can see a descending triangle coming down to green, with the green being the bottom end of the triangle, right? So I want to see us start to push out of this bearish structure and ultimately come back up and really start testing this area of bearish consolidation that we had up here, this supply up here that we've been sweeping. I really want to see us get out of that structure if you're bullish on this and start to get a macro trend going here. It's not a bad idea to start looking for longs down here. You could do short-term trades if you're shorting, short-term shorts. But in my opinion, down here, we are quite low. We've dropped quite low up the highs, and there's a clear invalidation level here. So if you can get in longer term down near green zone, I think it's worth taking a shot. But that's the question, right? If green's going to hold, because if we start to fail out here below the monthly open, come back down and start chopping into green in the demand zone a lot longer, then I'd start to say that we're going to probably start to capitulate again, and people are going to start selling their long-term bags, and we'll just continue to play down here in this range, closer to like $700 kind of thing in here somewhere. But you'll never hear me say, oh, $800 is going to be the bottom, or we're going to $500, because people that call those, take those conclusions, are working off of data perhaps, but nobody knows for sure. So to use absolutes in this market is just not right, in my opinion, right? Let the market tell you what it's going to do first and just trade it as you see it and take advantage of the market as it moves. Don't predict it before price is giving you any kind of data to work with, in my opinion, right? Because don't forget, you can play it both ways, right? If we start to come back down in here, and you start to get something like this, you can start to look for shorts, right? So you got a market structure break to the downside, you could short it, and then it's like, okay, just ride it down. Who knows? For not necessarily price discovery, but essentially off this low, it's new lows, right? So who knows how far it could tank? You just don't know. But if we start getting some of the bullish price action like this and really start testing supply and turning it into demand, then I'll get bullish and I'll start looking for entries to go long. I didn't drill down into much lower time frame because I think the high time frame speaks for itself, but ultimately all the things that I covered really just apply. Same thing here with the 4-hour chart. Yep, just basically got this SR flip right here, this market structure break. We do have a parallel channel still right here, down to the low. So yeah, just basically playing around with the EQ here, deviation to the downside, bearish consolidation, came back down to the bottom end, confluence with this breakout level right here. Okay, we've tested it. So now obviously just playing within the upper 50th percentile of this 4-hour parallel channel. So like I said previously, with those EMAs and these lower highs, confluence of breakout of that would be a confluent breakout basically just of this channel as well, right? So just looking for multiple reasons to support your bias or to support your thesis and your trade position. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. Hopefully you found this video helpful and the future price action of Ethereum, depending on what you're doing, if you're accumulating or shorting or longing, whatever you're doing. And thanks so much for joining. I really appreciate the engagement, the likes. Please do like the video if you did enjoy it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for future updates. You can always follow me on Twitter at CryptoVatsik. Thanks again. See you on the next time. Peace.